Alright, welcome back to Trails of Cold Steel. Last time we had a bit of an issue at the market, where the provincial army got involved, but really didn't really get involved. They were just kind of trying to shut everybody up. And now we're talking to Otto after all of that. So thanks to you four, we were able to open the Grand Market for business today without incident. I can't even begin to tell you how grateful I am. Oh, there's no need for that. We barely did anything. I'm just glad no one got hurt. All the more reason to thank you. A merchant's stall is his livelihood. Any action taken against it can throw him into blind rage, and it's hard to bring someone back from that. It would seem the problems facing the merchants in this town are quite grave indeed. The provincial army may have intervened, but it's difficult to believe that they make no attempts to find an amicable solution. Quite right. It's clearer than ever now that they have no intention of trying to resolve any issues involving the market. And I can't see that changing unless we decide to just accept the sales tax increase and keep quiet about it. Still, you'd think they'd at least be a little bit more subtle about the whole thing. There's no way those two merchants are just going to accept this and move on. No, I don't suppose they will. And if word gets out about this, it's not inconceivable for certain groups of people to begin boycotting the marketplace. Something definitely has to be done. I'm just not sure what. Is something wrong, Reen? You're awfully quiet. Are you feeling unwell? Sir, I have a favor to ask. Would you consider allowing us to investigate this morning's incident? What? Are you suggesting that we attempt to find the perpetrator who destroyed the merchant's stalls ourselves? It's a kind offer, but as I said yesterday, this is our affair, not yours. You're students, you have your own studies to worry about, and I wouldn't feel right interfering with them. We're students training for the military, though. We can't just stand by and allow something so unjust to go unchallenged. It's the provincial army's responsibility to address this, sure. But they're shirking their duties here, and that reflects poorly on us all. Well, that's true enough, I guess. But do you really think we're up for something like this? I kind of have to wonder about that too. I mean, at the end of the day, we're just amateurs. We should at least check with Instructor Sarah first, see what she thinks. She's already told us. Put your heads together and think. I'm sure you'll see what you need to do. Her words. This seems like exactly the sort of thing she meant. At least, it does to me. Oh. I see your point. Perhaps matters such as this may fall under the scope of our field study after all. Yeah, you do make a good case. I'm still not sure we're up to it, but I guess can't hurt to try. Neither seek nor shun the fight. Very well. We shall do what we can. Are you really sure about this? I'm certainly not going to say no. I'm very concerned about the market and the safety of our merchants. So if you're 100% sure, I have to admit, I truly would appreciate anything you can do for us. Thank you, sir. We'll do everything in our power to find answers for you. Just be careful. Don't go seeking out trouble. I don't want you kids being put in any danger. We're dealing with a criminal who acts under the cover of night. He may be capable of a lot more than just thievery and vandalism. Remember, I'm responsible for your safety. If anything were to happen to you, I couldn't even look Van Dyke in the eye anymore. We'll be careful, we promise. I know I will, at least. I probably need to be more careful than anyone else here. Now that that's settled, we should act quickly. Yeah, let's get this investigation started. I wonder what Elliot meant by that. That he needs to be more careful than everybody else. Is it just because he feels like he's weaker than everyone else, or is there something else going on there? So first things first, we need to decide where to start investigating. The logical starting point would be the Grand Market itself, the scene of the crime. Can't argue with that. We should probably get statements from the two merchants before anything else. Indeed, I anticipate they've calmed themselves by now, so perhaps we can get something a bit more substantial from them. We still have to ascertain their innocence or guilt in the matter as well. We'll need to keep a close eye on the time, though. If we miss the last train toward Heimdallr, we'll have no way of getting back to the academy today. Plus, we've been given other tasks too, and I'd really like to get them done. In short, we need to keep moving. Our deadline is 9 p.m. Let's use every minute we have to accomplish everything we possibly can. Understood. You bet. Right. I think the time, I don't think we actually are timed. I think the story only moves forward based on when we do certain things. So we're going to actually do the side quests first, because I don't think those impact the time. And the main story we have to do regardless, right? So let's get the side stuff out of the way. This lovely lady here. Excuse me, would you happen to be Lizzie? That's correct. Does that make you the students from Thor's who the market manager said would be coming then? Yep, that's us. We came to see you about the request you sent in. Could you explain the situation to us in full? Of course. I happened to come across someone's wallet by my store yesterday, you see. I kept it with me in the hopes that they would come to pick it up, but no one's come to claim it. As such, I would like to ask you all for your help in delivering it back to its owner. Would you be able to do that for me? Yep. Yes, we'd be happy to help. Thank you. Here's the wallet that I found then. Anything else? We'll be sure to take good care of it. I've assumed that you've already inspected the contents. I did indeed. Unfortunately, there wasn't anything inside that could help us to identify the owner. What exactly was inside it anyway? Well, naturally there was Mira in it. I couldn't believe just how much was in there though. The only thing was a train ticket to Heimdallr that's scheduled for tonight. It seems like the owner is a fairly well-off traveler then. There's not much we can do with that as our only lead though. I believe the train ticket is potentially our best lead. Yeah, but what should we do with it? Should we go and ask at the station? Yeah, considering it's a train that leaves tonight, I'd imagine the owner is frantically searching for it. Which means they might have already been to the station themselves to ask about it. Let's head over to the station then. Sorry for the trouble, but I'm counting on you for this. Alright. So a lost wallet. Let's go to the train station. So we enter the station, asked any inquiries regards to lost property. Yes, there was an inquiry. The wallet seems to match the description we received too. Can I ask when the inquiry was made? I believe it was this morning. A young lady came along in a panic, claiming that she was at a complete loss without her wallet and its contents. From what I could tell, she seems to have been traveling alone too. I get why she would be in a panic then. Did she say anything else that could lead us to her? She mentioned something about returning to the inn to do a thorough check, if I recall correctly. It's the weathercock right down the street. You can't miss it. How convenient. We happen to be staying there ourselves. Right, let's go ask Margaret. Right, to the inn. Which is actually like right here. Hey there, is something the matter? Do you have a moment? There's something we'd like to ask you. Do we explain the situation? Anyone coming for a wallet? Oh, you're looking for Annabelle. Bad timing though, she just left. That's unfortunate. But we have a name now at least, that makes life a lot easier. True, all that's left now is to actually meet with her. She mentioned that she'd be searching at the area in the Grand Market next, so you'll want to head there. Make sure you return it to her, okay? We will. Let's go. Back to the market. I hope the side quests get a little bit more interesting than this. Well, actually, we don't even know who this girl Annabelle is, so she's in the back corner here, or potentially another lead on her is in the back corner here. Hello, Mr. Musician Dude. You're playing a nice little violin. Looking for money? You are not Annabelle. Ah. Excuse me, you wouldn't happen to know if a young lady came in here searching for her wallet, would you? She was indeed here a few moments ago, but she's gone now. Do you know where she went then? Unfortunately not. She did mention something about having no choice but to rely on Adios now, though. Does that help you at all? I think there's only one place that could be. Shall we make our way to the church then? Yeah, that seems like our best bet for now. Guess we can talk to Father Zerbel. And then he'll tell us that she went back to the station. And then, I don't know, where is the inn again? Or the church? Chapel. Is it church or chapel? Chapel. Although that's pretty big to be a chapel. Well, maybe not. I don't know. It looks like a church to me. Chapels are usually smaller, if I recall correctly. Oh, this might be her. Hello, pretty young lady. Oh, Adios, please have mercy on my poor soul. I simply cannot believe this. How am I supposed to live on having lost all my Mirai in a place like this? Looks like we found her. The tragic heroine act made it kind of obvious. Unfortunately, we'll have to interrupt her. Excuse me. Eek. Just who are all of you? Well, you can turn around right now, right if you're planning to rob me. I no longer have any... Please calm down, we just want to ask you something. Are we correct in assuming that you are Annabelle? I am. Thought so. You wouldn't happen to recognize this wallet, would you? They showed Annabelle the wallet. That's my wallet. Where did you find it? Well, you see, we gave her the whole explanation how we ran around the whole town and finally figured out where she was. Thank you so much. I'm surprised to hear that the merchant from the Grand Market kept it safe for me, however. Kindness remains within people's hearts after all, it would seem. Looks that way, yeah. Regardless, I'm very grateful that you found it for me. Is there any particular amount that you'd like in return? You can take half of what's currently in here if you'd like. I don't think we can accept that. Your thanks alone are enough. I see. Well, how about this then? I purchased it as a souvenir at the Grand Market before the Great Wallet search began. The Pickard plush. I see no reason that you can't accept that. In fact, I insist. I hope you find it useful. Thank you. We gratefully accept then. You're very, very welcome. Thank you again for finding my wallet. Alright. Now let's go take care of the monster at the West Highway. Oh, we have to talk to her as well. So you managed to find the owner after all then, thank goodness. I really can't thank you enough though. I'm glad we could be of help. Please excuse us then. Alright, quest complete. Alright, so we gotta go to the west. Okay, we can't teleport there, so let's run out. We have to defeat some sort of monster. Shouldn't take us too long. Although we should get some CP for Laura. We can't even do the story. Okay, so we have to do the main story stuff then. It doesn't let us out. How come we didn't go to the guardhouse? That's probably got to be important eventually, I assume. Because why bother building the guardhouse if we can't even use it? Then again, they have that house there that we just kind of ran in because we wanted to. And we haven't gone into the... No, the manager's house we were in. That's where he gives us all the talks and whatnot. Anyways, let's start talking to these people. These jerk faces. And to think I was ecstatic to finally participate in the famous Celtic Grand Market. What did I ever do to deserve this? Excuse me. You. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you had to see me acting like that. I hope you can forgive my inappropriate behavior. He seems really down. It's quite understandable. He's a merchant in a busy market, unable to do business. So what brings you here? Do you need something from me? Well, actually, we explained that we're investigating. You're investigating? That's right, and we'd really appreciate it if you could answer us a few questions. You may be able to help us find the true culprit. I suppose it can't hurt. It's better than doing nothing, at least. You don't have to sound so pessimistic. Well, can you blame me? You're students at a military academy. You're not exactly ace detectives. That is true, but we're still determined to find out who did this. We may be even able to recover your goods. Cooperating with us could prove quite fruitful. Okay, fine. I never said I wouldn't help you, did I? I'm not sure what I'm supposed to say, though. It's not like I saw anything worth mentioning. You didn't. As soon as I made sure my stall was ready to open the next morning, I left everything set up and went home. The other merchants around here can vouch for that. I guess I shouldn't have left the stall unattended, though. By the time I got in, it was too late. The deed had been done. but by morning the stall had already been destroyed and your goods stolen? Come to think of it, what goods were stolen exactly? Oh, I have a sample with me actually. An accessory? Is this a brand that's popular in the capital? I've been a real big hit lately, yeah. I was hoping to bring the fad here by selling them at the market. But this is the only one I have left now. I dread to think just about how much money I lost in one single night. That damn coward's sabotaging my business. It's much too early to be jumping to conclusions. Do you have any evidence that proves his culpability? No, but he's clearly the prime suspect. He was so against the idea of us taking turns sharing this spot with me, he decided he'd destroy my stall altogether. I just know it. I'm going to get him to give me my goods back no matter what it takes. Please try and stay calm. Do you know that if you cause any more trouble, the provincial army really will arrest you, right? Yeah, I know, but it's a matter of justice. I just can't act like nothing happened. It's wrong, on general principle. I'm begging you, please get my goods back, whatever it takes. Well, I can't promise success, but I swear to you, we'll do everything we can. That much I can promise. Okay. I think that's everything this merchant knows. Let's try questioning the other one. So he pretty much knows nothing. Just told us what he was selling, and that he basically left it overnight and came back and it was destroyed. What about this guy? What the hell am I supposed to do now? Excuse me, I'm sorry to bother you, but could we have a moment of your time? You're those kids from the military academy, right? What do you want from me? I've got nothing to sell you, obviously. Even if I did have something to sell, I've got no place to sell it. I'm basically ruined. And to top it all off, the provincial army and that other damn merchant are acting like I'm the one who did it. He's not taking this very well, is he? Hard to blame him, but we need to see if he knows anything that might help us. Well, you see, so we explain, blah blah blah. You're investigating this mess, huh? Okay. So would you consider cooperating with us? Sure, why not? Not getting my hopes up, as I'm sure you understand, but hell, I've got nothing left to lose. Not exactly a vote of confidence. He's willing to cooperate, and I say we cut him some slack and hear him out. So about last night, at the time the incident actually happened. Last night, huh? I don't know how much help I can be if that's what you're asking about here. See, I left the market right after arguing with the merchant yesterday, and I didn't come back till this morning. I stayed over at a friend's place, another merchant, just got pissed drunk and ranted at him all night. Are you certain of this? Positive. Ask my friend if you don't believe me. He'll back me up. I wandered over here with an awful hangover this morning, and what I found gave me a hell of a start. My whole stall in shambles. And if that weren't bad enough, all the processed foods I was going to sell were just gone, without a trace. All the goods that were stolen were all processed foods? That's right, nuts, cheese, bacon, all foods that have long shelf life made with local ingredients. Seeing all my stuff gone really sobered me up. It was like I hadn't been drinking at all. That's when I went over to that fool's stall to make him pay for it. Why did you go straight to him? Because he was the one who did it, of course. He smashed my stall so he could have that spot all to himself. But that doesn't make any sense. If Heinz did it, then why is his stall destroyed too? He must have done that to himself. Probably figured if he destroyed his own stall, no one would believe he could be responsible. I don't know, that seems pretty unlikely. It's a bit excessive. While I understand your frustration, baseless accusations do no one any favors, and only cloud the true issue. But it's so frustrating. I've lost so much money because of this, I might have to shut down up shop for good. That is bad. If I could at least get my goods back, maybe I could salvage enough to stay afloat, but what are the odds of that? None of the other merchants saw anyone do anything, and the provincial army sure ain't about to help. I'm finished, pure and simple. All the hard work I put into getting this far, and this is how the dream ends for me. Well, I'll be honest, I'm not sure how much we'll actually be able to do for you, but we'll do everything in our power to help you find some form of closure. So cheer up, okay? I do appreciate that, but again, I ain't about to get my hopes up. Good luck, though. That's all the two victims of this crime have to say, it seems. What does everyone think? I can't be sure, but I really don't think either of them is responsible. Both merchants certainly have adequate motive to damage the other's stall, but the chance of both committing the same crime on the same night without crossing paths is virtually nil. It's not impossible that they were just out to steal each other's merchandise, but I don't believe that's what happened. Both of them have alibis confirming that they were somewhere else when the crime took place. I'm inclined to agree. I just can't see either of these merchants being responsible for what happened, so we're going to have to look somewhere else to find viable suspects. Where though? I mean, who could it possibly have been? It's impossible to say right now. We don't have any solid leads. We know the culprit wasn't, but how are we supposed to start narrowing down who it was? The market itself seems unlikely to produce any further clues, so we should focus our attention elsewhere. Actually, there is one thing that's been bugging me. There is one group of people involved in this whole situation whose actions don't seem to make any sense. Maybe if we can work out the reasoning behind their strange behavior, we can come one step closer to finding the culprit. Who do you mean? I'm talking about the Provincial Army. The Provincial Army. They haven't done a thing to try and solve this crime despite it happening right under their noses. And that begs the question, why not? The market manager said they're refusing to fulfill their role due to the tax issue. Which means the Provincial Army should refuse to intervene in quarrels within the market as well. If that's the case, then why did they come and intervene this morning? Now that you mention it, that really doesn't make any sense. Their methods were atrocious, but the fact is they brought that dispute to an end almost instantly. They did get involved. Yeah, one minute they're refusing to do anything, the next they're taking a stand. It's definitely suspicious. My point exactly. There's definitely something unnatural about the way they're conducting themselves. And since we have no other leads, what do you say we go to the Army's guardhouse to take a look around? We might be able to learn something from them that could aid us in our investigation. That may be worth an attempt. The guardhouse isn't too far from here either. Let's head on over and see what we can find out. And as I suspected, we would need to go to the guardhouse. Okay, so we'll take a break here. Next time we'll go and question the guards, which we probably need to be very careful on how we approach that because we don't want to get arrested ourselves. So anyways, thanks for watching, and until next time.